Hey everyone, we are the Podcast Wreckers, a new podcast.
Not for long.
We have up to 4 professional improvisation comedians here who will be funny and talking about movies, video games, life, and the facts of life.
Where are they?
Not the show, the sex. I'll introduce myself. I'm going by the moniker Player Zero, but I am Adam Aragon, and I once fell off a motorcycle into a juniper bush, and it ripped my pants off me.
And I will go ahead and introduce Adam too. Adam is, he's something else, and I don't mean that as a compliment. My name is, unfortunately, it's Matlock Zumsteg, and I have absolutely no energy today. So Good. My interesting fact is that I like you too much. Whoever you are,
dear listener,
I love dear you. Listener, I love you.
I'm into you
in an unhealthy way.
Yeah. So. Okay.
Stephen Shigo Thomas. I once introduced a married couple. I was the best man at a wedding, and I introduced the married couple onto the dance floor for their first dance as a married couple. Unfortunately, I called the bride by the name of the groom's ex-girlfriend.
Oh my God!
Yep.
Oh no!
I thought you were going to say you arranged their marriage.
I had a microphone, despite all misgivings, and I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to their first time as a married couple on the dance floor." Aaron and Katie. Tammy. Tamra.
Oh, no.
And you got her name wrong twice? Wow.
No. I said Aaron and Katie. Mm-hmm. That was the ex-girlfriend's name.
Then you called her Tammy.
Very bad.
Her close friends.
And then I said Tammy because that's what she went by. And I was so devastated that I was like, I got to church it up. I was like, Tamra. That makes it all better.
And they just escorted you off the dance floor and outside of the building. And
I learned what it's like to drink a pitcher of kamikazes. And
I'm sure the drivers of the Hindenburg said, let's go towards the ground at least. That's wow.
Yeah.
Well, you ruined some lives that day. How about you, Joe?
I send them Christmas cards.
You should for eternity.
I don't get any better.
Do you write the wrong name on the card and then cross it out?
Every single year, and it's a different name.
And they're all X's.
They're all X's, yes.
Throughout the year, I probe him gently, like, who's that one girl I used to see? Remember back in the day? Fuck, I forget what her name was.
So hot.
No, you're really happy about it. Like, really,
That's
really,
right.
Yeah. Oh, and who did you marry? So me. This is my third energy drink of the day. I'm Joe Crowell, the Johnny Chaotic. I'm 6'8", and what some would say, worth the climb.
Kind of a big deal. Kind of a big person.
Hey.
So we're gonna jump right into our next segment, which is improvised insanity, and I'm gonna have all of us take turns improvising something.
Okay, I'll go first. Hi, my name is Stephen Thomas. Once at a wedding,
Okay, we could do that, but
pretty much.
Okay, I'm gonna everyone take turns here. I want you to give me the elevator pitch for a video game that could never get made nowadays. Like, if you brought this to any video game studio, they would.
So it's called the Weinstein Chronicles. Picture Leisure Suit Larry, right?
Okay.
He owns. I mean, he's the head of. He's a production mogul,
a powerful man.
Yeah, and as opposed to not sleeping with anybody, he sleeps with everybody, regardless of how they feel about him.
So are some of them willing and into it? I mean, is this a dating simulation?
No, you are a big, fat, old, stinky man. And you just, because of your wealth and power, you can have any woman you want that you see on the street.
So what are the mechanics here? Like, how do you actually play?
You just click one button, and it's a fuck button.
Sure. Yeah.
Just one button. You just click it.
It's just the sad part.
The faster you click.
It's as easy as you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, and they just keep blowing you.
The whole screen is one button.
And you think repetitive, boring. No, my friend.
That was incredible. Thank you.
That's my pitch. Tell me what you think.
It's somewhere between an R-rated banned Atari game and privileged sexual assault.
How much money are you willing to invest to get in on the ground floor on this thing?
$4 million.
Not only is it topical and timely, it's right on the heels of the Me Too movement, just 5 years after.
Me Too, too.
He's thrown out.
I got it.
Go.
Everyone, who wouldn't love female gymnast doctor simulator?
Wow, that's a lot of words into a title there.
So you're a doctor for female gymnasts.
That's
or
right.
are you a female gymnast?
Just like in real life, you get to use hands-on.
Is this a VR game?
The struggle is to keep your career. How long can you do the things you do?
You have a very, very particular kink, Stephen, and I don't know if everybody shares it, but I'm sure a majority of the population would be.
I think he's onto something, because you could have an entire Ace Attorney style courtroom scene, like in the middle of this game, where you flatly deny things and call them liars.
Yeah, it's not a family game.
Sure. Who's the target audience? Who are you targeting with this? What's the demographic?
I was picturing like Animal Crossing. But...
Maybe these guys I know. I think they'd really like it.
Sure. I mean, are there maybe 2 or 3 million of them, or
someone else can go next?
Over to you, Joe.
I was thinking of a Weinstein game, but except it's a first-person shooter. So, like, you have a gun, but it's just like your finger, and it just goes like this, and then clothes fall off people.
So basically, the Zapped the game.
Exactly.
Now, there's a game I would play.
It's
based on an old property like Zapped.
Yeah.
It came out today. It's like, oh, yeah, my dad knows that movie.
Yeah, this guy can just zap pieces of clothing off of women.
He's telekinetic, and he uses it to sexually assault people. It's funny. It's comedy. I'm going to hook a left here on my video game idea and say that. Oh, thank you. I'm going to hook a video game idea and say I want to take the what's known as the worst Atari game of all time, E.T., the extraterrestrial, and I want to remake it in full-blown Unreal Engine 5 HD glory, but keep all the mechanics from the original Atari game.
Oh, absolutely. Why would you lose those? That's what makes it a classic.
There's nothing like giant pits in the ground that you fall into and then have to dig yourself out of using your head.
But, and here's the fun part, you can't.
Ironically, all of those cartridges are in a giant pit in the ground.
I know, right?
Trying to dig their way out.
The game played itself to death.
Oh, we
have that game, Road Trip, I think it's called, where you just sit and drive a car. And
there's Truck Simulator, where you drive a big rig truck just endlessly down freeways.
Yeah, it's something like that. But like, if you pull over, if you like go over the line or whatever, it's like game over. And people have these whole like parties while they're trying to play it for like 28, 36 hours of just mind-numbing fucking 4-bit.
There's a surprising amount of games out there that you think would have no chance whatsoever of getting made or an audience that succeeded. Like there's a game about power washing.
Oh, dude, the game's awesome. It's fantastic.
There's a game about driving a big rig truck for hours and hours and hours down featureless freeways.
Yeah, you have to obey the rules of the road. Or else you don't get money.
There's a Russian game where you drive unwieldy old trucks with proper physics through ice and snow.
Yeah, because if you go too fast, you'll break through the ice.
I would do that. That's quality time.
Yeah, that's every man's dream. But
Can we do the back of the box description of one of those games, like Zapped the game?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Zapped the game. What's the tagline for Zapped the game?
full HD clothing removal.
You don't even have to ask her.
You don't even have to ask her.
Consent not needed.
All right.
No need to talk.
Zapped the game. You play evangelical Christian Scott Baio.
Yes, that's Scott Baio, parentheses.
In the game, you'll find many high schooler. Was he in high school or college?
Yeah.
High school.
Wow, high school. That's even worse, right?
Yeah.
You find many underage victims.
Yeah, you will locate many underage victims, and
along with some teachers and adults.
You will be
that's all I got. That's all the back of the box would say.
All right,
I played it.
Well, that's our video games that would never get made nowadays. And on that same note of never get made nowadays, I want to switch us all into old man mode. I want you all to talk about back in my day, but whatever it is that was back in your day needs to be 100% false and provably so. Yeah.
Back in my day, when I was a kid and went to the beach, it was great. I would never get sand all the way up my ass crack. It was awesome. I could sashay all the way back home, no problem at all. I loved it.
What changed? Did sand become stickier?
You said for it to be patently false. I used to walk home.
I was hoping you would double down on the lie.
I used to walk home bow-legged.
I used to walk 300 miles directly vertical to school, and then I would fall home and die every day.
I died every day. I lost an arm to school every day.
I like the Edward Gorey-esque concept of falling home from school every day.
We're going to jump to gaming glitch, which is our gaming segment where we talk about an infamous glitch, an Easter egg, a conspiracy theory, or just weird experiences you had within a video game. And Joe, I think you mentioned adventures in GTA 3 at some point.
Well, the story is more so I had a friend who was doing a paper in college about a certain video game called Grand Theft Auto 3, and she had me record
that little lesser known game.
She had me record myself do something in the game and then give that video clip to her. Now, she asked me, what's the worst thing you can do in the game? And so what I did was I got in a car, went and picked up a woman of the night, and then the car rocks and, whatever, it makes sounds, and then she gets out. Then you hit her with a bat and you get your money back.
And thus the cycle is complete.
And then I went home and I showed her GTA 3.
And that's what I did. I did that for her class. So a classroom of people saw me do that.
Nice. And then, did she turn to the class and be like, so, as you can see, that shit was sick, dog.
I wish I was there for the class to be like, huh? Yeah.
I think we can all agree that was mad dope. Am I right?
Entire class is looking at me like I'm a fucking monster. Oh, dude, but you get the money back, guys.
Sometimes that game just escalating the police level, it's trying to get 5 stars, is just creating more and more carnage and shooting more and more rocket launchers at police cars.
The best thing about 3
and
was
driving 2 miles away and everything's cool.
It's just like real life, Stephen.
They're like, yeah, we lost interest. He's so far.
You drive your car into a paint shop, and then the cops don't remember you anymore. Like real life.
That was 5 minutes ago. Everyone stand down.
The car's blue, folks. I don't know. We're looking for a red one.
I know SWAT just got here, but dude, he's gone. So.
He's like a ghost. It's like trying to catch an idea in the wind.
Well, it's funny because that extends to right now, Cyberpunk 2077, arguably one of the other big open world games that just came out recently, has the exact same mechanic, which is that you can plow into a crowd of people, fire a gun into a crowd, and get a multiple police rating. But if you just get in the car and book it down the street, if you get within 7 to 8 blocks away, like all the alerts and everything just stop.
Yeah.
Like if you're not within 8 blocks of where the crime was committed, there's no longer a crime. Sorry.
Who's
to say what happened? Who knows?
Yeah, it's too far to tell, and honestly, we can't presume anything at this point. So
we don't want to. Gas is expensive, and we're all tired. We're just we can't travel further than 8 blocks to investigate a crime.
It's 2077. Like, either turn yourself in or get away with it.
Gas is expensive in 2077.
I mean, really expensive. Like, to the point where it's like, unless he, tried to shoot a senator or something, like then we're just going to let that slide.
Even then, I would say it's too expensive.
My son and I play a game on the Switch called Gang Beasts.
Go. Wow, I thought that was wow. Okay, that's
beasts.
Sorry.
Gang beasts.
Both words in that title. Just I was like, that's no. Don't play anything gang or beast in the title.
Tell us about bestiality.
Right. The title, right. Like, I shouldn't be able to say that sentence. My 7-year-old and I play a game called Gang Beasts.
Which is the sequel to Bang Bus.
It's got a theme song with like these oddly British voices going GANGBEASDS Gang Beast.
So I need more context here. What is this game?
Gang Beast is really interesting. It's this game you can play online with other people.
I found it on a Flash animation site.
It's all the characters. The best I can describe it is like all the little avatars and characters, everybody's movement is very sloppy. And everybody's just like this gelatinous looking kind of figure or whatever, but you can get in like different costumes and shit like that. And this
is getting worse and worse.
In a round, you have just different rounds, and the whole round is just everybody trying to either throw each other off the building, or throw each other off the boat, or throw each other off the iceberg into the ocean. But you're trying to be the last man standing every single round, and you play like 8 rounds with like 8
So it's like teaching lessons. It's teaching important lessons to kids.
It's just a crazy game because the whole concept of it is weird. Because when you're playing it, like there's no instructions, there's no screen to go to where it'll be like this button does this button does this. So you like are forced to figure it out. But then like you do these movements and they're not clean at all. So like these things, they just shamble along towards each other like that. And then when you go to punch somebody, you're like, whoa. And then, or you go like, whoa. And like 3/4 of the time you miss, so you might connect every now and then. You have to figure out how to like pick somebody up and like throw them over the railing.
You could just as easily call it like drunk fights or
right. And so, based on my description, you'd be like, well, fuck you for taking all our time to talk about this. What a waste of fucking time. But like, it was crazy. We downloaded it for Thanksgiving 2022, and we had like the whole family over, and everybody, like the parents, the kids, everybody was just getting into it because everyone was laughing their asses off because they were like, what the fuck is this? These things look ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now. This is awesome.
I can't really figure it the fuck out, but then then you do like succeed, and like everybody laughs, and you're like, well, how the fuck do you even do that? Like, it's pretty fun in a group setting.
What is that style of game called where the controls are like deliberately just drunk? Like
that's
Octopus
exactly
Dad. Wasn't that a game, Octopus Dad, where it's like none of the controls work the right way, so you kind of have to flop your way over to do things and pick things up.
He just moves like an insane erratic sponge.
I'm looking at video of this game though, and it looks fun as shit.
What's the goat one? There's some sort of goat simulator. Yeah, where you just also
Untitled Goose Game.
Oh yeah, lots of weird floppy animal and people games. Everything's funny when it's floppy.
That's what she
said.
Sure it is.
Wow.
I'm sticking to that story. Alrighty. Well, without any further ado, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you and be funnier and better next time.
Go away.
Get the hell out of here.
Next time. Let's play another day.